Hey everyone, this is Thyworm, and today I want to present a top 6 list of potentially interesting games to play in March, based on me clicking through Steam thumbnails and my wishlist. Are you enjoying these? Consider subscribing. Starting with Rain Island, an indie game from developer Mackin7. This is a side-scroller shooter hold and gun boss rush game of casual difficulty. I just really like the art style and the retro music that we see and hear in the trailer. The game is short, only 20 to 35 minutes, so I'm expecting this to be a few bucks. But that doesn't mean this cute little indie game isn't worth your time. If this game is €4 or less, I'll pick it up and play it. It releases March 7th. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, the sequel to the hugely popular platformer Ori and the Blind Forest, makes its way to PC. This game looks absolutely stunning, and just like the original game, it is oozing with atmosphere. If you have the Xbox Game Pass for PC, which I do, the game is free. On Steam you'll pay 30 bucks, so get that Game Pass. It's one of the best deals in gaming history, guys. As soon as I have a bit of time and I'm not busy making videos or playing action RPGs, I'll definitely install this and see how long it takes me to complete it. It's going to be an amazing experience, that's for sure. The game releases March 11th on PC, Game Pass and Xbox. After being an Epic Game Store exclusive, Borderlands 3 also launches on Steam in March, and this is going to be interesting. Metro Exodus recently became available on Steam as well in a similar fashion, and it didn't take them long to sell 200,000 copies on Steam. That's no small margin for a company's entire profit. It turns out a significant number of customers stay true to their online threats or promises to not buy from the Epic Game Store. Coming back to Borderlands 3, it's very well possible that Borderlands 3 does the same thing but in much bigger numbers, because it is a much more popular game. If a similar portion of gamers simply waited for this game to appear on Steam, it could sell up to, I don't know, 500,000 copies or something. I'm curious to see how that goes. I may pick up a copy as well. I'm not a big fan of the Epic Game Store either and their practices, but I'm not sure I'm willing to pay full price. I think I will wait for a summer sale on Steam, or maybe even for this game to appear in the Game Pass and then pick it up. Needless to say, the game itself is simply really good, but I'm sure you've heard and seen the reviews by now. It drops March 13th. Doom Eternal also hits the shelves in March. I played the predecessor of the rebooted series, the 2016 version, and man, that was an enjoyable game. I don't really cover games like this on my channel because you should really have some focus in your regular videos, and that is not first-person shooters in my case. But Doom 2016 was such a good game, and I'm expecting this to be just as good, if not better. It's more of the same in the end. Mindless slaying of demons, some extremely violent cinematography, a visualization of insane gory details, animations and finishing moves. Doom is pure fun, and I hope it stays that way in Doom Eternal. It is available March 21st. Valve as a company hasn't really made any efforts lately to create video games, or at least good ones, because Artifact was basically a giant meme of a card game. Their excuse for not making another Half-Life game was that they wanted to leverage new technologies when these became available. And that technology turned out to be VR. Two more reasons for making Half-Life Alyx are the fact that Valve has produced a top-of-the-line VR goggle, which costs you around $1,000. I bet they're going to sell a bunch of those when Alyx releases. And a third reason is Steam. Valve had so much money coming in through their platform that there was no need to do anything except showcase more games on their platform. Now, some cynicism aside, and politics and capitalism, whatever the reason may be, fact is that Half-Life Alyx releases March 23rd, and I would be personally surprised if this game doesn't completely redefine the VR genre within video games, and will be the game that people look back at in a few years saying that was the game that really put VR gaming on the map. Because let's face it, apart from some really good games like Beat Saber and a few others, VR gaming really never took off. A very small percentage of PC gamers have VR goggles. On consoles it is even worse. It's just not really going anywhere, but I think Alyx will change that. I don't see myself buying VR goggles for this, but on the other hand I have bought more ridiculous stuff honestly when it comes to gaming, and VR is something I've been wanting to explore for a while. So maybe, just maybe, if there aren't any other real expenses I need to cover this month, I might pick me up some nice VR goggles and this game and see if I'm right. But first I will wait for a few reviews before I spend $1,000. Mountain Blade, a single-player medieval style sandbox RPG, was a game that reached a very niche market in 2005. If you've heard of this game, you probably played it and loved it as well. I know I did, at least for a while. I've never been a hardcore fan, but there are a lot of people that are hardcore fans of this game. It's taken the devs almost 15 years, but the long awaited sequel is finally here. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord will enter early access on March 31st. EA is expected to take around 1 year. The game is already very functional, the devs say, with tons of improvements compared to the original. Features like character creation, exploration of the continent, forming clans and warbands, laying siege to settlements, a better combat system, etc. It all looks very promising. Last but not least, let's have a small recap of how the games did that I recommended in the February video, just to see if I'm telling you guys a bunch of bullshit. Warhammer Underworlds Online, the card game, had a bit of a rocky launch but recovered very quickly. Devs had been pushing updates, the Steam rating is at a respectable 75% positive rating, people seem to enjoy this. I did not play it myself. Vampire's Fall Origins, an old school action RPG, was also well received in the end. With an 86% rating and a price tag of only $10, I think this was a decent recommendation. I haven't really played this one either because there was so much other stuff to do, but if times are slow I might give this a go. Stone Shard, the brutal roguelike RPG, did well. 79% positive rating. I bought the game, played it for a few hours, got my ass handed to me like expected, by wolves no less. The game has 2 more years in early access development, but it is already a really well-rounded product, and for only $15 I'd say it is a steal if you like this kind of brutally difficult games. Eternal Edge Plus, interesting story here. It had a release date in February, but it didn't release, so that was a great recommendation. I don't know what happened. The latest news is that there will be a closed beta soon. That means at least that it is more than just a Switch port. Let's see where this leads, but you can't play it right now. No release date has been given either. Of course, Voltron released. Oh, Voltron, what a bloody mess. I'm playing it quite a bit and I'm trying to enjoy it, but the game makes it so hard. I'll come back to this in a separate video, but I am not enthusiastic about the game and neither is Steam. It sits on a 53% user rating. If you're unsure if you should buy this game, wait a bit. Let them patch and fix it first and see how it shapes up to be. In its current state, there's simply too much wrong with this for me to recommend it. Conan Chopchop, another excellent recommendation from my end because it was delayed as well. This time there was an official statement. It is now available in Q2 somewhere. And that is all I have for you. Follow me on Twitter. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Love you all. Bye bye.